a superstar. People don't want to believe that.
Just a Flea's face.
Yeah, listen, hey Flea, I'm going in. And Lord have mercy. Does homegirl look bad today? Becky with the no good hair Hammon. Shout out to you. Because you awoken a monster. And I'm going to give a shout out to somebody I never want to give a shout out to. Kendrick Perkins. Because he kept it real. Listen, y'all can feel how y'all want to feel. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. But when that young man is on the big stage playing against the best, he shows up. 30 clips, 40 clips. So it shows that the
50
Knicks,
clip.
50 clip. Thank you, Flea. It shows that the Knicks have a true superstar. Now, is that enough to get us to the championship? No. But is that a very great piece to move forward? Hell yeah. So for me, and one thing too before I go. Mitchell Robinson being out might be a gift in disguise. It opens the floor more. Doesn't clog up the lane. Yes, we do miss him, his offensive rebounding, his defense. But if we can continue to get this play by Randall, where he understands he's not the best player on the team, and we can get Barrett to be a little more consistent and give us at least 20 a game, we're going to be dangerous. I'm not saying we'll beat Boston or Milwaukee, but I think a team like Philly, we could give a run for their money. So for me, I think that Milwaukee Knicks game was great. Milwaukee, to me, and I'm going to give it to Flea because he's my fellow New Yorker, Knicks fan. To me, Milwaukee goes as far as Chris Middleton takes them. Giannis and Dame is going to be great. They're going to give you 30, 40, 50 whenever they can. But if Chris Middleton isn't being Chris Middleton, they're going to be in trouble. So for me, that first game, listen, man, let's go Knicks. Great Christmas Day. Great win, big win for the organization. And I think a superstar has been emerged in the New York area. And I ain't talking about Brooklyn. I'm talking about Manhattan, baby. Big Jalen Brunson.
I love what Two was talking about. I ain't gonna jump out the window like him, but if you need me to catch you at the bottom of the 24th floor, I'll be down there. I'll be down there to catch you, big dog. But no. First of all, I'm gonna say this. It is great when the New York Knicks are playing on Christmas Day. At one point, that was like a staple, right? And then we got to the point where we were just so bad that they could not put us on the Christmas Day slate. There was a point that they just couldn't do it anymore. And so for us to be relevant and a factor in this NBA landscape, I love that just flat out about my Knicks. I had a problem with us, though, this season because when I was looking at it, I'm like, we beat all the teams that we're supposed to beat. The best wins that we had before this Christmas Day game was against Miami, was against Phoenix, and against the Lakers. After that, we beat the teams that we're supposed to beat, but we get dog walked by Boston. We get dog walked by Milwaukee. We get dog walked by Philly. We're not beating and we're not playing up to the level of the better teams in the league, right? We played Minnesota. They beat us, right? So, I want us to start playing up to the level of the better teams. So the way that we played on Christmas Day, we finally played up to another level, right? The big thing that stands out to me, being that we played Milwaukee so many times this year, I feel like we played them and got a chance to see us match up against them at least 4 times already, and we only in December. Jalen Brunson is taking that fucking matchup personal. That matchup with him and Damian Lillard, he takes personal. Every time he gets on the floor with that dude, he is taking his game up to another level and is trying to match his superstardom on the basketball court.
Yes.
Every time I watch him, he's going at him. Now, granted, Dame is going to have great games because he's a great player, but we're literally watching the emergence and the ascension of Jalen Brunson, and he's giving it to everybody. Your favorite player's favorite player right now, he is out there just going at them. So I love what we did on Christmas Day. All the Christmas Day games were good watches. I didn't like not seeing Embiid and Jimmy Butler not play for their respective teams when Philly played Miami. Denver showed that right now they are just better than the Golden State Warriors. I'm very concerned about Golden State and how they look. Phoenix gave up another 50 ball, right? They gave up 50 to Jalen Brunson the other night. They gave up 50 to Luka Doncic. There's some concerns. I think we're going to get into that with Phoenix. And then that Boston Lakers game, man, it was a good watch. It was a good watch, but you can see flat out right now, Boston has the better team than the Lakers. They're just better. Flat out. They're just better team. They have better cohesion. They play together better. They can beat you every different way. If you want Boston to beat you with the 3-ball, they could do that. If you want Boston to punish you in the paint, they could do that. Yeah. If you want Boston to beat you with their just 2 best players and everybody sit around and watch, they'll do that too. Like, they come at you in so many different ways, and they defend their ass off. So Christmas was great. I definitely enjoyed it.
Don.
First game, well, don't mean to be a downer, but back in the day, I used to wake up for the first game every time. There was no excuses. That was before I started drinking, though, I will say. So, the Christmas Eve nights are a little different. But I set my alarm for the Knicks Bucks, and I was like, you know what? What am I really missing that I won't be able to watch in the highlights? So I don't regret it. Got to sleep.
That hurt.
Oh, I like the Knicks, but it's just your team hasn't changed at all. So
it was a good game, though. Don't do that.
It was a good game. It probably was. It's just I didn't enjoy it as much.
He's crazy.
Melo and Boston. Remember Melo and Boston opening night 2011-12? That was quality. But anyway, so Jalen Brunson is killing, but I'm not gonna say he's a superstar till if he gets you out of the first round again this year, 2 straight second round appearances as the best player, I would call him a superstar. Honestly, I'll give you that. But right now, I'm not ready to say that. And I don't understand how Becky Hammon was proven wrong. Becky Hammon is only going to be proven right because you're not going to win a championship with Brunson as a number 1. I'm sorry. I told Hawks fans the same thing today about Trae Young. I said Trae Young may be playing better lately, but you're not going to win as a number 1. If I'm wrong, I would. That's cool because I like, I'm a smaller guard myself, so I like the point guards. But he's not winning as a number 1 to me. He would be a great number 2. That's all I got about that game. That's all I got about that game.
All right, but just quickly respond. What Becky Hammon left out was the guards that she did name. They had great coaches, and they had a great supporting cast. So let's not act like Curry and Zeke did it by themselves. Zeke had probably top 5 greatest coaches all time, definitely top 10.
Yeah.
Curry had at the time top 3 coach at the league at that time. Let's not talk about the supporting cast Curry's had his whole career. Let's not talk about who Zeke had with the young Dennis Rodman, the microwave, my guy Joe Dumars, Bill Lambert, Sally. So let's not act like these guys, and there's no knock on them. But give Jalen Brunson a top 5 head coach all time. Give him a great supporting cast, and then let's see. So for me, that was just straight hate on the Knicks, which everybody hates on the Knicks. Not you, Dom. I'm just saying from her, and I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to let y'all go. When LeBron started talking to certain players after the game, when certain players start being spoken about in the media, you know they on to becoming superstars. And lately, Jalen Brunson's been in everybody's mouth, pause, for the past week or 2. So if y'all don't think that mean nothing, then my new slogan, argue with yourself. I ain't going to argue with you.
So who's this? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I heard, I forget who I heard say it, but they referenced Jalen Brunson in this run that he's been on last year and going into this year. They referenced Isaiah Thomas. Now, I remember Isaiah Thomas. I think we all remember that run Isaiah Thomas was on for that little 3 years or so in Boston. It was great. It was great to watch. Great basketball, small guard, dominating, going and getting 30, able to hit the 3, able to take you off the dribble, get downhill, get to the rim. Like, he was super exciting to watch. But I don't think Isaiah Thomas could ever be the best player on a championship team. And I think a lot of what Jalen Brunson is doing now is reminiscent of what Isaiah Thomas was doing with the Boston Celtics. Now, that Celtics team was a better team. I think constructive, like from top to bottom, I think they were a better team. So if we still continue to get better, let's say we do get another guy. There's a lot of guys on the market right now. We go get an OG. We go get a Siakam, a DeRozan. You know, somebody that's in the mix right now that could just take us to the next level. Brunson, you know, Brunson might look, I can't call him a superstar right now too, but Brunson might look a lot different with better talent around him. Talent, not just good players.
To win it all, though, all ball. Like, who is a second? Because we know that you don't think Julius Randle can be the second.
Yeah? Hell no. Hold on, Dom. Let me ask you, because like I said, I respect all y'all basketball minds. And please, I want y'all to all respond to this. And I want Fabian to get in this. I'll go first with Zeke in them, because that was before Curry in them. On the Knicks, name me Joe Dumars, name me the microwave, name me Dennis Rodman, name me John Sally, name me Joe Dumars. I'll wait. And then Golden State, name me Bogut, name me Sean Livingston, name me Klay Thompson, name me Draymond, name me Kevin Durant, name me Barbosa, David West, name me anybody that slightly represents any of those players on the Knicks. We have nobody that comes close to none of those players. So don't treat Brunson as if he has that type of crew constructed and it's like he can't do it. No, like everybody say, it's a team thing. Give him a great coach. Give him the right team constructed, and then let's see what happens. That's my point. She was wrong.
No, she was not. Until she was not wrong.
She said it was one player, and it's literally two. So okay. She was wrong.
Oh, one. No, there's three. If there's three players that have been a point guard consensus best player on a championship team, and one of them's from your team. But yes, there's only three
Clyde
players.
Frazier.
Yeah, right. 73, the second ring.
Right.
But
so she's wrong. By the letter of the law, she's wrong. She said it's only one.
Okay, fine. If you want to play like that, but her point was that it's really hard for a smaller guard, and Clyde Frazier's not even a smaller guard. He's just a point guard.
Not.
To win a championship as the best player. So who's your second option in this hypothetical that you think could be a good second option for Brunson that's worse than him, but better than Randall?
Fabian.
Yeah. Let Fabian get that.
Fabian. Can Jalen Brunson be the best player on a championship team?
Yes.
Mr. I love big men and don't like guards is saying that?
Yeah, but because we don't give Isaiah Thomas enough credit at all. We never do. The NBA certainly doesn't. They don't want to promote him. The same way all y'all do is big up Steph Curry. Every single year. And he changed the game. He changed the game. You know who changed the game before him that was a small guard? Isaiah Thomas, the Detroit Pistons. The entire 90s and 2000s looked like the Detroit Pistons. They were trying to ban those rules because of the Detroit Pistons. They banned every rule up. They beat up Michael Jordan. They changed the defenses. Before all this zone, cheating zone stuff, that they did that first. All of it. And he led the way. That's how, going to Two's point, you construct a team with some damn schemes, with some thought behind it. To say that it's not that he's just a 1A. You're talking about scoring on offense again. That's where you guys confuse me. I'm not just talking about that. He's a better leader than AI. I don't know if Steph can really lead like Jalen Brunson. If we're keeping it 1,000, he doesn't have to lead this team.
I don't agree with that. But go ahead.
You don't have to agree with it. Yeah, you don't have to agree with it because Steph Curry's not on the Knicks dealing with Julius Randle throwing temper tantrums for the last 2-3 season and a half.
But he's dealing with Draymond Green.
Are you kidding me? That was
no.
Draymond Green.
Draymond might be worse with his tantrums.
Okay, and so offensively, he makes up for that, correct? He gives Steph the ball. Let's not forget that. He covers for him on defense. Klay Thompson covers for him on defense. So, again, we're talking about complementary pieces around the small guy, who's not even really that small compared to Isaiah Thomas. He's like 6'2", 6'3", whatever it is.
Right.
But, yes, Zeke is the anomaly. Of course he is. But even back then, was he a top 5 player? I don't think so. Bird, Magic, Mike, Kareem, Dominique, a lot of guys were back then.
In 1990, that would be a good exercise for people.
When
I get there, I'll tell you. But Kareem wasn't in the league anymore.
Barkley is up there. Malone is up there. Drexler
is Karl Malone better than Isaiah Thomas?
I'm sorry?
Is Karl Malone in 1990 better than Isaiah Thomas?
I'm just saying people will argue to have him as a better player. And meanwhile, you would say to yourself, there's no way I would take Karl Malone over Isaiah Thomas. Definitely in hindsight, there's no way possible. And even in real time, you go, this guy could lead my team, and he's not scared of anybody. Even his best friend who he kissed on the court, he's not scared of him either. And they really should have three-peated had he not injured his ankle. He went to 3 in a row. They dominated. So to say like it can't be replicated, it's not just him being a little guy. This ain't Isaiah Thomas Boston. No, that guy did not lead like Brunson or the original Isaiah Thomas. He didn't.
But Fabe and Don, just to be fair to Becky Hammon, and I'm speaking to you too, like she's being honest. And what I mean by that is it's an anomaly. Like this shit doesn't happen. You know, we can't go back into NBA history and pluck out several different times where the lead guard was your best player, leading you from October all the way until that first weekend in June to hoist the trophy. Like, there's not too many times that we could do that. You talked about some things, and I thought it was interesting, and we could bring these guys up because I think they're valid. But Tony Parker won the Finals MVP, right? He was the best player in that series, right? If we go back to the playoffs, though, Tim Duncan was vital.
Yes.
You know, at some points, Michael Finley was really good. I'm talking about during that 07
Yes.
run.
Good
you know
point.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
We go back to
Don't forget Manu.
Relax.
Remember, hold on, but stay there, Flea. I named A.V. Johnson. I'm just saying little guys that was pivotal in championship moments. Like I said, I'm not saying the best player, right? But these guys play pivotal. Go ahead, Flea. Go ahead.
No, I got you. I fully understand what you're saying. Like even a Chauncey Billups winning the Finals MVP, but the sum is greater than the parts. Again, for that team, when you break that team up, how great are they individually? But together, they a championship level team.
But he still was the best player on that team.
But see, here's the thing, though. The one that Flea is talking about, the Dennis Johnson Finals MVP, the Chauncey Billups, the Tony Parker. You can debate. We can sit here for a whole show and debate who the best player on that team was. It's so inconclusive. Frazier, 73, for sure was your best player when after Willis Reed had that injury. And then Curry and Isaiah, there's not much of a dispute there.
No dispute.
So that's why I say those three stand alone to me. Brunson is, even though people debate the Randall thing, it's very obvious. It's seeming to be, as the weeks go on, very obvious who the best player on the Knicks is. I just trust the ball in Brunson's hands so much more.
Yeah.
You know, Randall is good. But now before we move on to the next game of this Christmas, let me ask you a question, AllBall. How many of your starters right now, besides Brunson, do you think are